Hello and welcome to Tales from the Shed,
Once
where
again.
we discuss the wisdom of menopause beyond
Exactly.
and before if you want to.
Yeah. And we were kind of thinking about that. We've kind of talked about quite a lot of serious stuff, quite a lot, and we were thinking about actually we found that quite easy to talk about fear-based stuff. We talk about all the kind of bad news that's out there. There's quite a lot of bad news about menopause out there. We can talk about that. And then I kind of said, should we talk about something fun? And then we were like, oh.
It's funny, isn't it? Because we say it's not this, but what it is. And it's interesting because I guess it's what it sounds so obvious, but it's what you did before, but there's more space for it somehow, or more wisdom to clear it against. So you were saying some of the things that you love to do is swimming, or cold water swimming.
Cold water swimming, yes.
But do you feel that that has changed since you've got into this space in your life more than if you were 20, 30?
Yeah, I kind of think I always liked swimming in the sea.
Yeah.
And I guess that's because I grew up, in Cornwall. And, when we went to the beach, we went to the beach for a whole day, whether or not, whatever the weather was like. We'd made the decision. My parents had packed up the car, and I do remember my mum making my dad. I think he had to make 2 trips up and down the cliff path with the tables and chairs that we had, because of course you sat at a chair and a table when you had your picnic on the sand, and you had to stay out of the water for, so all of that was going on, but it was great, it was fun. So sea swimming was always part of what I wanted to do, and I have to say that the times of my life that I've actually lived in Milton Keynes and in Leeds, which are a long way from the sea, were quite difficult.
Do you mean Milton Keynes on the sea?
No, no. Milton Keynes not next to the sea at all. So sea swimming, yes, you're right. It's always been part of who I am and what I like to do.
But has it changed, you think?
I think it has. I think it has. And I kind of feel like that as I got older, it was just about me going swimming. I didn't have to take anybody else. I'm fortunate to live 15 minutes from a beach. So if I wanted just to go for an hour, half an hour, if I just wanted to go for a swim, come back again, all that kind of stuff, and so I didn't have to organize anything. And it was all about just the pleasure for me of being in the sea and doing that.
So do you feel more, I'm going to say really crap words, like more fulfilled by that? I know that's a horrible word. I really hate that, but I was trying to find something different, but sort of happier with that, more content with it.
Yeah, I do. And I think the other thing,
do you think you get more out of it now?
I think so, because I'm totally in control of it. But also what happens for me is, and now it's, we're in the winter at the moment. I know the science says as long as you go in once a week, you retain your feeling of being able to go in cold water. So I'm thinking, okay, that's once a week. And I'm fortunate enough to be in a couple of groups of swimmers. And so then you have that kind of social aspect, and, we're all about the same age, really. I mean, there is a variety of age, probably about 20 years.
Like you're talking about sea swimming, and it's hard by looking at me, but I don't have the perfect figure. It's just like, and I think I just care less. So things that may have held me back, and it's not that, well, there's no point now, just get over it. It just really doesn't resonate. Do you know when something you just don't care? Your next door neighbours put the bins out on the wrong day and you just don't care, and somebody tells you about it and you think, I can't even try to care.
I can't even, just like moving on. It's like, and I kind of feel like, so as a group of us, we go there, you put, it's not in a way, if you think you're going to go doing sea swimming and you're going to look good, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's just about, you put on the kit, you have the, and then you go into the sea. There's quite a lot of swearing and screaming and things like that, and then you kind of come out, and then you have the same thing of, we must get our clothes on because it's really cold. Then we all kind of hang around in the car park and we have a cup of tea. So that is a kind of like a complete activity.
Struck me as well.
And actually, it is fun.
It really does. It's just, the other thing is the angst of other people. You're just talking about being in a group of people.
I know.
And I think when you get older, I think you have that kind of agree, disagree. I'm not that. That's an interesting point. I hadn't thought of. That's one I don't know if I can get on board with that. But it doesn't grip you. You don't have to belong.
Yeah.
So you can kind of take the good from everything without the negatives outweighing the good so much.
Yeah. And I kind of think it is that interesting thing about, you know, I mean, I do know people that, you know, get to this age and still have a thought about what other people think about me. But do you know what? I never really thought about that much. Maybe at school and a bit at university. But kind of since then, less so. I don't think about it at all. And I mean, why would I care what other people think about me?
No, and I think perhaps more, I mean, there's always going to be some people a selection, but I think less people care. So people are more themselves. So I think you can glean more from people. You can kind of get an honesty or a reaction. I think there's a
and I also think there's more about, it's quite good that I'm quite prepared to do this on my own agenda. So, for example, last night I went to the cinema on my own.
Oh, I love that.
And somebody made a remark to me, oh, you haven't brought your husband with you. And I went, no, he's gone out doing something else. And I'm thinking, but that shouldn't stop me going out to cinema. I went to see a movie. I asked him if he was interested. He wasn't that interested. I said, well, I'm going. And there was one time when he was doing so many other things, I just went to movies that he would have liked to have gone and see. I just said, well, I'm still going to them. I'm not going to wait around for you. No. So I can do it on my own. And I don't mind. You know, I'm sitting there with me beer and me popcorn and it's fine.
I love the cinema on your own because there's nothing worse than somebody going, what did they say?
I know. And the other interesting thing was, so we were in the biggest screen. So I don't know how many, 200 seats in there, I don't know. And there was probably about 10 people in it. And because we went in, the guy said, well, it doesn't matter where you sit, you can sit anywhere you like. So I went and sat down in a place on my own. And these two people came in at the end. And they only went and sat in the two seats behind me. And I'm just thinking, and then they started eating their popcorn. And I'm like, do you know what? It's a bit like when I go to the beach and I put my, you know, you put your little bit on the thing and then you find somebody's come and sat down right next to you and you're going, so I'm kind of looking around and thinking, so there's a load of other things. And I just thought, well, I could sit here and I could be really pissed off with them the whole film. So I just thought, do you know what? I'm going to go and sit somewhere else. And I went and just moved a couple of things away. And, you know, I don't think they even registered that that's what I'd done because of them. But I just kind of thought, why do I have to have you're munching your popcorn in my ear? Because, I mean, not that I actually hear it. The movie was quite loud, but it was like, I couldn't imagine it. But it was like, I don't really want that. I just want to be in a space on my own. And I didn't, and it was, I kind of thought, you know, maybe when you were a teenager, you thought, well, I couldn't possibly do that because then they might get upset. And then I was like, I don't care.
I'm just doing this.
I'm just doing it because it's about my enjoyment.
It's not for or against them.
No.
It's just that this is what I'm doing.
It's not what I was on the train the other day, right? I was on the train journeys. And there was a young chap opposite to me and he had his headphones in and he was eating biltong. He was eating beef jerky. Like this all the time. Of course, he couldn't hear anything because he had his headphones in. And I was just like, this is really annoying me. And I thought, I need to put my headphones in. Just let him get on with it. He's not doing it to upset me.
No.
He's just a bit unconscious about it.
Yeah.
So I can just sit, I'll put my headphones in and I don't have to listen to him chewing because that is annoying me.
So this is having fun.
It was having
just like,
yeah, I'm already veered off into like moaning about somebody else.
No, but it is, I think it's like, because we do say this is the great time. And I think there's an element of freedom in whatever floats your boat and of doing it. And not having someone else to say, I think that's probably it. I go, I did XYZ, and somebody goes, oh,
I know.
And everyone goes, oh, and the group goes, oh, and you think, perhaps I shouldn't do that. That seems bad.
Yeah.
Whereas now I just think, it's a bit weird. I quite like it.
I know.
And I don't have to look for someone else's ideas and I don't have to justify it, which means perhaps that's just becoming yourself a bit more. Just a little bit more confident. And I think the result of that is people might share what before you thought, oh, I better hide that. So people go, that's really weird that you really like going out on a boat and getting soaking wet and doing all these different things and not having a shower and hot water and things like that. And you think, tell me more about it. Or maybe it's good. So it kind of expands the knowledge, like you listen and connect with other people.
And then you don't have to do that. You know, you can say, I'm thinking, I'm quite glad I'm not doing that, actually. You know, my idea of, you know, going out, I quite like it when we go and sit on your boat and we just have a drink.
So do I.
We don't go out of the harbour.
No, looking at the harbour is brilliant.
So that was great.
But if you gave me a free holiday in Dubai, I would definitely give it back.
Ooh.
Yeah, no. Maldives, no. And I
Prepared to go anywhere, actually.
no,
Just to have a look.
no, I had something there, but on this amazing 5-star, and it had a balcony, personal swimming pool.
Mm.
And I just thought, oh no, that's it. I wouldn't do, it's not right or wrong, but it was almost my
No.
freedom to think. Whereas there would have been a time when you think there's something wrong with me,
Yeah.
that I don't want that.
Yeah.
So perhaps I'm secretly jealous. Perhaps I'm secretly wanting that. Perhaps I'm secretly, and I began to doubt it because everybody was going, well, who wouldn't? And you think it must be me, but it's now I just think, yeah, weird. Don't want it.
Just weird. Yeah, don't want it. So yeah,
so fit for a jelly baby.
Yes, let's not go back there. Let's not go back to jelly baby conversation. But don't even like jelly babies that much. Anyway, so yeah, but whatever. I think that kind of concept of fun, and I think as you get to menopause and beyond, and you can actually think, I'm going to do this because I enjoy it. It doesn't necessarily mean that somebody has to come with me, that somebody has to agree that that's what's fun,
or somebody say you're clever, brave, or strong doing it, or any of that. It's just this is what I like to do.
I know people do say that. They see us all kind of coming out of, we're heading out of the sea and we're going back to the car park where we're going to get changed, lovely and glamorous. We say, oh, very brave, and we're going, well, it's 8 degrees, it's pretty okay. And they're kind of going, what? You know,
I'm an 11-degree girl. I'm going to wait for it to be 11 degrees.
I know, but it is that kind of thing of we don't do it because people in the car park are going to think we're brave and amazing.
No.
Or even foolish.
So I think having fun is about really all the bits you've kind of hidden or kind of not realised about yourself. Yeah. And you just think, you know what? I've always loved going to the cinema by myself.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, it just feels really free. It feels
and now
I don't even have to go. I've got Netflix and everything at home, but I'm just going to do this mad thing and go.
There is a mad thing. There are some films that you have to sit in the cinema. And you get the surround sound. You know, the kind of thing where you have the adverts and you think, what is it? Oh, it's got the speakers behind me.
I think it's the indulgence.
It is indulgent.
It's indulgent.
It's indulgent, yeah.
And I think, that's good. So I think that's it. I think you have fun because we were thinking, what do you do differently? Do you suddenly grow 2 heads or do, take up croquet or something? But I think it's probably what's in you. Yeah. And just, it is a bit more enjoyable because it's freer.
Yeah, that's right. You just have
leave
to
that with you.